What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, August 21st, T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas, Nevada, marks the date of a massive mega showdown between legendary, iconic Filipino superstar boxer Manny Pacquiao and undefeated, unified WBC, IBF, welterweight world champion superstar boxer who is widely considered by many to be top 3 best boxers pound for pound in the world in Errol the Truth Spence Jr. With that said, Errol Spence Jr. is undefeated. Errol Spence Jr. is the unified welterweight world champion. Errol Spence Jr. 27 wins, no losses, no draws. 21 big wins by way of knockout. 31 years of age, stands at 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach. The last time we saw him in the ring was December of 2020 when he took on and defeated 2-division world champion superstar boxer Danny Swift Garcia, in which that was coming off a 14-month layoff after unifying the belts September 28th in 2019 against 2-time welterweight world champion superstar boxer Showtime Shawn Porter. And we all know what happened after that. Just 12 days later, Errol Spence suffered a horrific car accident. 14-month layoff, came back and defeated one of the best boxers in the world in Danny Swift Garcia, okay? With that said, Errol Spence will be taking on Manny Pacquiao, who is a legend, an icon in the sport of boxing. 62 wins, 7 losses, 2 draws, 39 wins by way of knockout. 3 times in his career, he was knocked out. Manny Pacquiao, 42 years of age, stands at 5'5.5" with a 67-inch arm reach. The last time we saw Manny Pacquiao in the ring was July of 2019 when he took on the defeated former unified welterweight world champion superstar boxer Keith one-time Thurman. That was July of 2019. With that said, this is a huge fight. So you're going to get a lot of boxing pundits, a lot of media, a lot of fans, a lot of their peers. They're going to be picking this fight. They're going to be breaking down this fight. With that said, a poll was done in which you had over 130,000 people vote on this poll who would win between Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao. And to my surprise, and to many surprise, 59% of the people believe that Manny Pacquiao will be successful in this fight. 38% of the people think that Errol Spence will be the victor in this fight, and 3% of the people think it's going to end in a draw. But with that said, Manny Pacquiao is 11 years the elder of Errol Spence Jr. Manny Pacquiao is 5 inches shorter than Errol Spence Jr. Manny Pacquiao is a 5-inch disadvantage against Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence is younger, bigger, stronger. They're both southpaws, so Errol Spence eliminates the southpaw advantage of Manny Pacquiao. So, with that said, you have 59% of the boxing fans and the boxing world who voted on this, because it's not just boxing fans. You have to believe that there's boxing pundits, there's boxing media, there's the peers, other boxers that voted. You have over 130,000 people voted on this poll, in which 59% of the people believe that Manny Pacquiao is going to be the victor. Now, Manny Pacquiao, he just recently stated that he is going and training, preparing for stamina and speed, because he believes that this is absolutely going to be one of the most action-packed fights he's had in recent memory, okay? Manny Pacquiao, he believes that, this is the most action-packed fight he's going to be in since 2017, in the last 4 years, okay? With that said, Manny Pacquiao is expecting this to be a barn burner. He's expecting to go back and forth with Errol Spence. He's expecting a lot of action. He says he's preparing with stamina and speed. Speed beats size and strength. That's what Manny Pacquiao personally told me. I asked Manny Pacquiao, what is it going to take for you to beat Errol Spence Jr.? And he said it's going to be speed. I need the speed. The speed is what's going to be the difference for me against Errol Spence Jr. to neutralize his size and his strength. Obviously, Errol Spence Jr., his technical ability. Errol Spence is one of the best technical boxers with one of the higher ring IQs in the sport of boxing, okay? Errol Spence is shown the ability to be very versatile, have great timing, as he showed against Danny Garcia and against 4-division world champion Mexican superstar boxer Mikey Garcia. And then he could show he mixed it up on the inside when he fought against Shawn Porter, okay? So Errol Spence has shown us a lot of versatility. He showed us that he could be a pressure fighter against a guy who was the IBF welterweight world champion British superstar boxer in the UK for his first opportunity at a world title against Special K Kell Brook in the UK. He showed that he could be a pressure fighter. He could face adversity and be victorious. Okay, Kell Brook was having a lot of moments in those fights. That was a very nip and tuck fight until Errol Spence, he started to break Kell Brook down. Okay, and so with that said, you know, Errol Spence is a southpaw, Manny Pacquiao is a southpaw. So they eliminate one another's advantage of being a southpaw. Okay, most fighters, they don't like to face southpaws because you don't get a lot of southpaws in the sport of boxing. Recently, there's a lot of southpaws that's being displayed in the sport of boxing. Okay, but with that said, you know, it's just abnormal to see southpaws. Okay, so with that said, you know, it's surprising because most people didn't even feel like Manny Pacquiao, this advanced stage in his career, this advanced age as he currently is, that he would even take a fight with Errol Spence Jr., let alone be the victor. Okay, obviously he's a legend. He's an 8-division world champion. He's an icon in the sport of boxing. He fought the who's in the sport of boxing. Okay, whether they were past their prime, in their prime, before their prime, you know, Manny Pacquiao has fought the best of the best. Okay, whether it be at, you know, the lower weight classes, you know, from 122 pounds to 126 pounds to 130 pounds to 154 pounds catch weight. But this is how high Manny Pacquiao went through his career, okay? And he fought so many Hall of Famers. He fought Eric Morales, Barrera, and Juan Marquez, 3 Hall of Famers. We know he fought Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd Mayweather, Miguel Cotto, 3 more Hall of Famers, okay? He's fought Shane Mosley, okay? He's fought the best of the best in his career, okay? Now, he wasn't always the victor, and he was knocked out in his career. He took some losses, some bad losses. He was outboxed by Eric Morales and Floyd Mayweather badly, okay? He was brutally knocked out by Juan Manuel Marquez, okay? He was knocked out to the body by 2 journeymen early in his career, okay? We know he had 2 draws on his resume. He beat Timothy Bradley, okay? Like I said, he beat Miguel Cotto, okay? He beat Joshua Clottey, Antonio Margarito, Marco Antonio Barrera, okay? He beat Eric Morales. You know, so the list goes on and on and on when it comes to Manny Pacquiao. But the technical ability, the timing, the size, the reflexes of Errol Spence Jr., the educated footwork, okay, the IQ in the ring, I personally believe it's going to be too much for Manny Pacquiao. We already know that Manny Pacquiao, his Achilles heel, the guys he struggled with are high ring IQ, technically skilled boxers. Those are the guys he struggled with. Manny Pacquiao don't struggle with pressure fighters because that's right up his alley. He struggles with counterpunchers. He struggles with thinkers. He struggles with boxers. He struggles with guys that are technical, have technical abilities and are not getting out of position and not getting flustered by all of the movement, all of the foot speed, all of the hand speed. They let the time slow down, and they start to time Manny Pacquiao because Manny Pacquiao, he starts to become predictable. Okay, that's why Juan Manuel Marquez, he had so much success against Manny Pacquiao in 4 fights. First fight, Marquez hit the deck 3 times in 1 round. He got up to fight to a draw. 2 fights in between, Manny Pacquiao, he got the victory, but there's people that believe Marquez could have gotten the victory. Then in the 4th fight, we know what happened. Marquez was dropped, Pacquiao was dropped. Then ultimately, Juan Manuel Marquez, he countered and timed Manny Pacquiao coming in and brutally knocked Manny Pacquiao out. So that is the style that gives Manny Pacquiao trouble. Now, we saw that ability from Errol Spence when he fought Mikey Garcia, who's similar in stature to Manny Pacquiao, 5'6" with a 68-inch arm reach. Manny Pacquiao, 5'5" with a 67-inch arm reach. And we saw the fact that Mikey Garcia, he struggled to close the distance. He struggled to close the gap. He struggled with the ability to make adjustments on the part of Errol Spence Jr. Mikey Garcia has one of the highest ring IQs in the sport of boxing. Mikey Garcia, he said, every time I made an adjustment, Errol Spence was always 2 steps ahead of me. So that just goes to show the ring IQ, okay? And Errol Spence, he stated that in his last fight with Danny Garcia, he wasn't even 100% in himself coming back off of the car accident, okay? He said he still was only 80% of himself. Now going into this fight with Manny Pacquiao, he's expecting to be 100% of himself. He's back with his strength and condition coach, Blu-ray Fitness. He has a dietitian now. He has a chef. You know, there's changes He's adding on. We already know he's with one of the best trainers in the sport of boxing and trainer of the year, and Derrick James, who has 2 unified world champions currently simultaneously in the sport of boxing right now. One heading into an undisputed match July 17th. By the time Derrick James goes into this fight with Manny Pacquiao with Errol Spence, he's going to have an undisputed champion on his hands, because I highly favor Jermell Charlo to beat Brian Castano in their undisputed match July 17th. So with that said, right, I personally am favoring Errol Spence Jr. Not just because of the youth, not just because of the size, but because of the timing, because of the ring IQ, because of the technical abilities, because of that jab. That gets overlooked. Errol Spence has a great jab. And Errol Spence has shown the versatility to fight on the inside, fight at mid-range, or fight at distance. So this is going to be one heck of a fight, and I absolutely cannot wait to see how it plays out. Make sure you hit the like button, drop a comment in the comment section, let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Raw. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
This is Amanda, the real deal Serrano, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.